I'm here with my client, Meredith Orlowski, who is a functional medicine practitioner and also a health coach. And Meredith is here today to share with us her experience of our client creation program, Fierce, Feminine, and Free. So welcome, Meredith.
Thanks, Julie. I'm so excited to share my experience.
Great. Well, let's kick off with tell us a bit more about what you do and who it's for.
Okay, so the program has helped me hone this a lot as well, which I will say. But so I'm a functional medicine practitioner, and I'm also a health coach. I'm also a Reiki master, and so I take a real mind, body, spirit approach to helping women lose weight, balance their hormones, and reclaim their energy. And so I do that by, figuring out exactly what they need physically, and then help coaching them through being able to do it as well.
Amazing. I love it. Yeah. And I know that you've got so much clearer on your message throughout this process. And so tell us a little bit about kind of how you work with people. You mentioned, the energy, the Reiki, do you do anything around hormones, energy? Like what does that look like?
So what I usually start with is physical symptoms, and I do a really in-depth assessment with people, lab work, health history, all of these things, and start piecing together what I think might be missing to bring the body back into balance. But then also along the way, as we go through the coaching program, I'm bringing in energetic pieces, whether it's a mindset work or visualization. I may send Reiki if the client is open to that, to certain areas of the body, and just help with limiting beliefs and all of that stuff. So it's very customized to the person, which did make it challenging for me to market that. And, so it's been really helpful getting clear on that for sure.
Absolutely. And I know, some of the results that people get, there are so many when they work with you, and I know like one of the last ones you like to go to is kind of losing weight. That's almost like something that happens. But, I know that they balance their hormones, they get more energy, they feel really good. And a lot of them then do end up losing weight as well.
Right.
Okay, amazing. Well, look, let's talk about Fierce, Feminine, and Free. So I'd love to know, what was business like before you joined the program? What was going on for you?
It was just, it felt like I was making a little bit of progress, but it was such a struggle. And I felt like I didn't really believe that what I was doing was going to get me to having an actual viable business. It felt really shaky and just really hard.
Yeah, and that's the experience of so many people that come into the program, and a lot of them have done business coaching programs before, and they still don't feel like they have the foundations or really a step-by-step process to follow. So that's how you were feeling. All right, so let's talk about some specific results that you've created since you came into the program. What did you do? What did you create?
Well, first of all, I just, and that was my experience, what you said, that, I was in other programs, and it just didn't get me over that hump where I felt like I had a structure where I could believe in myself and in my business. And that's what, by following the steps of Fierce, Feminine, and Free, that's what I feel now. And so I signed 4 clients. 2 were brand new, and then I had some re-signs during the program, which, just for some perspective, this was not normal for me to have this many people at once. I also grew my Facebook group by about 30%, and I'm really showing up in there a lot, doing a lot of lives now, which was part of, prompting in the group to do that. And I'm getting more and more engagement. And I just feel more energy. I feel like it's alive now.
Yeah, and that really comes across. And I know you've done so much work on your messaging, and I see you so much more visible now. It's like that energy and that confidence coming through. I love what you said, it's alive now. So that's amazing. And I believe you had some folks pay in full, which was a new thing. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This was a big energetic shift too, that I could feel it. And I think it comes down to, what energy are you putting out, which we talk about that in the program a lot. And I already knew that, but there, this really just helped me. Okay, well, how can I bring this into my business? And so instead of everyone complaining about my pricing and, it was just like pulling teeth. People were coming and saying, the two new people that, we say, oh, they came out of the blue, which I know you're going to tell me they didn't come out of the blue, but, they didn't even question the price. And I kind of went into it, oh, they're not going to, I didn't say they weren't going to sign up, but I just wasn't used to this. It was so easy, and it was crazy. It was the easiest sales calls ever. And they were just like, yep, I'm going to do it. That's great. And it was just, wow. I still can't believe it.
It's amazing. And it is that energetic shift. And it can be, obviously, we have the strategy in the program. You talk about the step by step to follow. And I know that's really key for you because you are a process person. At the same time, there is this underlying like activation, this energy shift. So was there a key thing in the program that we did, or was it just kind of, throughout the program? What do you think helped shift you?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was just all the bases are covered. Like how I do mind, body, spirit. I feel like that's this program too. It was just such a good fit for me because it really, all the bases were covered. I had the structure, I had the marketing help, I had, how to actually go out and generate leads, like all the pieces that I wanted that I didn't know I could get in one place. I got in one place. Mm. And I think, the mindset work that you encouraged us to do daily, the process that you taught us it was quick to do and just really, it's so powerful. I mean, that was a huge thing for me, just doing that.
The daily mindset. Yeah, I know. And the reason that I teach it that way, it is such a powerful tool. But I remember on my journey when I was learning mindset, and coaches would give me this like big, long things to do that would take hours of my day. And I just didn't have the time. So I was really looking for something short, powerful. And this you can do in about 10 minutes a day. So it really is amazing. But, you did the work, you did that consistently, and you got the shift. I know as well, this time in the program, we did some real kind of deep energy shifting in the body and the cells, and we did a guided meditation. So, yeah. Okay. Well, look, were there any kind of challenges for you along the way that you had to get over? Because I think it's really important for people to hear this side as well. So, we share the results and the transformation. That's amazing. But, we're normal people. We have challenges. So did you have anything you had to work through and overcome?
Yeah, I think the biggest piece for me was, the idea of generating leads that, I kind of knew what to do, but for some reason I had this belief that I didn't know how to do it or I couldn't do it. And that was such an aha that you just brought me back to such simplicity where you're like, well, you are doing it. That's what this is that you're doing, and so maybe this is a story that you're limiting yourself with this. And we did some work around that. And, that was just such a huge, I mean, and I coach people about this kind of stuff too. So it's like, then when you see it, and it's like, you think, oh, I'm immune to that stuff, but you're not, and so that was such an aha that I didn't even realize that, no, I am able to do that. And, this is just a way for me to get in my own way, whether it's from fear of being out there or fear of rejection or whatever. This was just a story I was telling myself. And so that was super powerful to just be able to like step outside it and look at that.
It's so powerful. And, it's so interesting what the mind will serve up. And I think this is why it is so powerful being in a coaching container and having that real-time feedback, because we can't see our own stuff. We're all coaches. We all do it with our own clients and we're good at it, but we literally don't see our own stories. So yeah, absolutely. Just, and the mind will do that. It will serve up and tell you things like, you don't know how to do your lead gen, or, you don't know how to do this or that. And the good thing about the process in Fierce Feminine and Free is it is so simple. And just to keep bringing you back to those simple steps, I think is the power of it. But who would you say that Fierce Feminine and Free is a good fit for?
I just can't say enough about it. I wish, hindsight 2020, like I wish I had found you years ago, because this is exactly what I was looking for. That, if whether you're starting out or, I was several years into it. So I kind of had some stuff that I had learned along the way, and I'd done other programs, but it's really like, if you want to get serious and make it a business that you can depend on, then this is for you, because you will have the framework. And if you just do the work, then, it's like any other, you go to a job, you do your work, they pay you, right? And I mean, that's what this is. It's, I think sometimes, again, going back to that mind thing, we think where it's our business, that it's kind of, for me, it was a little nebulous. It was a little, gooey, instead of, having something that I could stand on. And now I feel, really secure that it's not just up to chance. If I do the work, I will have a business. And so anyone that's, doubting if they can make it with this business, but they really want to, then they need to do this program, because it really made such a huge, I can't say enough, Julie, like, honestly, it was everything that I needed.
Oh, I'm
And
so
you covered
pleased
all my
to hear
bases.
that. I'm really, really pleased. Really, I am very touched, and I've loved seeing your progress. And so what would you say to someone that's maybe they're wanting to join, but they're looking at the investment? Maybe they've invested in programs before, and they're like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to spend the money and not get the return. Do you have any words of wisdom for them?
Well, I think if you want to do it and make your business a real thing, then you have to, I mean, any other business, if you're going to have a brick and mortar business, you have to take out a business loan. You're going to have to pay the rent for the space. You're going to have to do, I mean, and it's the same thing. I think we think of it differently when we're like an online business. But once and I had invested in a program before this as well, but, that was a huge shift for me at saying yes to my business, realizing, okay, this is important to me and I want to do it, and I need to be willing to invest. And and it helped me to get clients as well, because I was walking the talk. Okay, I'm willing to invest in what I want.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the money thing's always tough for all of us, but I think, and especially I had a lot of stories around money. So if I could do this, it was a huge shift for me. And I think, if you really mean it, and if you do the work, I mean, you got to do the work too.
Yeah.
And the
Can't
support.
just pay the money and then sort of sit back and where are the
And then there's the magic, right? No, you have to do the work. And it's like, but I think, the support, the personal support that you gave to us, even within this, on top of that was not something I had experienced in other group programs. You give a lot of that private support too. And that really, I think, brings it up a notch, because if you are still, because even within the structure, we all had our little sticking points, like I said, and, you were able to help us and support us with that. And plus, obviously being together in a group is supportive as well. But, if you do the work, you'll get the results. I really have no doubt.
100%. Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to share, Meredith? Because in a minute, I want you to tell people where people can come and connect with you. But was there anything else you wanted to share before we wrap up?
I don't know. I think I covered everything. But I really I can't stress enough, that if you're thinking about this program, then you probably should just do it. And I mean, it's made such a difference for me having the structures, I mean, I don't know how to put it into words other than, before it felt like, oh, maybe I'll get lucky and get some clients, or maybe I'll get lucky and it'll work out. It didn't feel dependable. Now I feel like, okay, this is what you have to do to get the results, and you know exactly what to do. So yeah.
It's a formula, isn't it? And then there's the energy piece. But the good news is it's simple, but it is something you need to come and learn and get the support to implement. And yeah, amazing. So look, you are amazing at what you do as well. So where can people come and join your audience and get in touch with you?
Probably the best place is my Facebook group, and it's called Health Creators on Facebook. And I do trainings every week in there, share lots of good information about, hormones, weight loss, all of that good stuff. And we talk about a lot of solutions, so a lot of free gifts in there, and things that you can actually take action on and change your life. So
Amazing. Yeah, it's such a supportive community. And so, if you are someone who is looking for that holistic approach, Meredith has got you, and you're really, really good at what you do. So get over and join her group. You won't regret it. You're going to get so much value. And yeah, look, thank you for coming and sharing with us today.
oh, my pleasure, Julie. Thank you.
Okay.